right, welcome to Skip the Line Media. My name is Mike, and this is
Anthony. And you can call me Dragon.
It's my favorite animal. All right, but it's not real.
Mine's a liger.
So we got a new thing today. Something we've never done before. As you've seen some of our other videos, they're mostly cruising and eating candies and treats. Well, today we're not going to do that.
Nope. Today we are doing Made the List.
Yep, made the list.
Top 5 for each of us of stuff.
Of something.
So basically, I liken it to having no talent and nothing new to offer the world, so let's rank other people's shit.
Let's look at other people's stuff and tell them what we feel about it. I believe in that. So that's what we're going to do. Like you said, both of us bring a list. His will be awful, mine will be good, and in the end, we're going to take our lists, put them together, and make one really good list. So, with some of my things, which is great, and some of his, which aren't so good.
Right. Some of mine are... Sounds like it's going to be all your list.
Well, no, that's what we're going to... Let's tell them the rule. The one rule is you have one item on your list that you can insist will be on the final list, just like me.
Yep.
All right?
Works.
And we're not going to let them know what that is until we reveal the final list.
Now, going with this, too, our theme right now is Halloween. So
yes, it's October.
Yep, it's that time of year. My favorite time of year.
Yeah. It is, well, that's his favorite time. I'm indifferent. It's football time, I guess.
See, Halloween's my favorite time. I'm a Bengals fan.
It's my birthday time.
The leaves start falling as well as my team's playoff hopes.
Yeah, we all have that feeling.
What we want to do today, now this is right in my wheelhouse, 80s horror movies.
Yeah, this is his wheelhouse. Now, I lived it because I was born in 74, and by the time the 80s came around, my family had HBO. So I seen everything that came on HBO between 1980 and 1989. So I have seen it all, pretty much.
Well, I wasn't rich.
I wasn't.
Pretty boy. I went to the video store. Does anybody remember those?
We have one.
Yeah.
It's now the vape store. Have you noticed that?
No.
Did you see outside? They sell
it.
CBD. Isn't that vape stuff?
I did see that, actually.
Okay,
I forgot about
the video store sells vape stuff.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Where was that?
You gotta pivot.
Where was that when we were kids?
You gotta pivot. You gotta.
Okay, so how do you want to start? Do you want to go first?
I can go first. I can give you my number.
All right, give me one off your list.
I'm gonna look at my list.
Right now.
I'm not gonna let him look at it
you're not
because he's
prepared.
awful. I'm prepared. I have the list. It's right here. It's right here. All right, so my number 5 one, and I'm picking this one because I feel that it has affected pop culture in general. I don't think the movie itself is that great,
Okay.
but I feel the references of it are everywhere.
Okay.
Like everyone knows what it is, even if they've never seen it, and that is Child's Play.
Ooh. All right. So, give me your thoughts.
Well, I mean, it's not, like I said, it's about like the serial killer guy who's running from the law, and he goes in some toy store and somehow he ends up a doll, and some kid takes him home and they blame him for killing things, right?
Right.
Okay, that's your synopsis of the movie. But I don't think the quality of the movie is as important as everyone knows about that little doll. And now most people see the scarred version now, but you know what I mean? Everybody knows that doll.
Yep. Chucky.
Everybody knows Chucky.
So, great choice, actually. That was one of the ones that I was thinking about putting on the list because Chucky, I did not put him on my list.
Oh.
Chucky is so iconic, and a midget that kills. Just
I would say a doll. Midget's a little harsh. Little person.
Little person that kills.
Little person doll.
So good choice. Not for or against it right now.
Oh, so
Okay.
So out of the box, that's a pretty good one.
Now, one I'm gonna throw out right now is first 80s horror movies. Now, this is I depended on these growing up just because I loved them. I needed that. I mean, 80s horror movies were essential to me, like breath mints to a bulimic.
Oh, wow.
I needed them. I had to have them in my life.
We picked the right topic.
So, I'm gonna throw one out here. I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's pretty much cult classic, Sleepaway Camp 2.
What the heck is that?
Exactly.
All right, this is.
Okay.
I gotta be explained. I've seen everything. I probably have seen it. To be fair,
Okay.
I've seen a lot of things and been like, didn't file them away.
If you've seen it and you don't remember, something's wrong with you. If you've watched everything on HBO as you claim you have.
I have. We just
Sleepaway
sat
Camp
and
2.
watched HBO. When
All
I
right.
was a kid, you didn't like. Now you look at the list and you say, "I'm going to watch it this time." No, you sat and watched HBO.
Here's what I've got to say about this. First of all, side note too, I actually feel kind of weird as against sequels as I am overall. for some reason, 80s horror movie sequels are
Yeah.
my thing. 4 of my 5 choices are sequels.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mine are not.
Okay. Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers, 1988.
1988?
Now, first of all, what makes it awesome is the killer is female.
All right, that's new. That's
Okay,
different.
so
Other than Christine.
Angela Baker, played by Pamela Springsteen.
Yeah?
Does that sound familiar?
No.
The last name?
Yeah, the last.
Because it flippin' should.
Yeah.
Yes, she is Bruce Springsteen's sister.
Oh, wow.
So not only that, too.
rock royalty, like, adjacent.
Yes, the story is she did not tell people she was his sister during the filming. Apparently, that last name is as common as Smith back then because nobody really knew, and most of the cast didn't realize until years after the film
Springsteen?
came out that she was his sister.
I think once Born in the USA came out,
You know what?
everyone knew what he was.
Okay, so a couple of things about this. Here's what I look for in a great 80s horror movie. Not that these are all based on this, but great death scenes.
Okay.
Gotta go for that.
Yeah.
You gotta follow the formula. Good boob scenes.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Okay.
In mine, I'm sure.
Yes, and stupid kids.
I believe every one of them have like the thing I just explained, Chucky and the stupid
Yes.
kid who would take him places.
Well, it's not, he was like 10, so
yeah, but
he wasn't a teenager who...
he wasn't stupid.
He wasn't
older kid.
He wasn't a teenager played by a 25-year-old in most of the other movies.
Yeah, true.
So, okay, here's the deal, though, with Unhappy Campers. Angela Baker, and let me backtrack real quick. The end of the first movie, which was a great movie, Sleepaway Camp, the original, the big reveal at the end is, oh my gosh, the killer, he has a vagina. That's basically what it was. They thought it was a guy killer. It's not.
That was the thing.
It's
that
Angela
was
Baker.
the biggest thing.
If you gotta see the end of the movie to
gotta watch
understand
it.
what I'm saying. She's standing there with a
I
knife
have to have seen that.
on the beach or something. It's just this whole, and it's
And that's resonated with you. That resonated, man. That's okay. You're allowed to have that resonate.
it's haunting. So, now, again, you haven't seen it. The cover of the movie, first of all, that's enough right there at the video store to get you on and watch it. It's this girl camping. She's got a backpack on, hanging out of the backpack, Freddy's glove, Jason's mask.
Oh, well, that's
So
awesome.
that's-
Well, why
that's good.
didn't
You don't wanna watch it.
I would want to watch
Now,
that, knowing those two were.
That's another thing. 80s movies at the video store, one of the biggest selling points was cover art.
Yeah, you're right. Like you go and you would look through the new releases, you go, that looks okay. If you didn't know, like they always had the big new releases, and those would all be sold out. And you're like, okay, so what are we gonna watch?
Right.
Then it came down to, does it look good? That's really all it came down to.
And along with this too, again, I've spent a little time on this movie because you haven't seen it. Some of the other ones
Yes.
I have. But here's the thing. The heroine, played by Renee Estevez,
Nah.
daughter of Martin Sheen, sister
Jeez.
of Emilio Estevez.
Are these all just siblings in
and
this one?
Charlie Sheen.
Don't tell me Kevin Bacon's
Oh, no.
brother's
So,
in it or something.
Renee Estevez, if you don't know who she is, she also played an episode in Growing Pains. She was
Oh.
a teacher's assistant. Tried to get Mike to bone her by changing his grade.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go.
So
You went through the IMDb history here.
yes, by the way, according to IMDb, she tried to get Mike to bone her.
Really?
So now the death scene, Allie, played by Valerie Hartman, one of the best death scenes in a horror movie. First of all, she was hot. Second of all, I was, a kid watching 80s
Yeah,
movies.
you were a kid watching this.
Great boob scene. She's
That's-
doing it with a guy out in the woods who actually, also, if you ever watch this movie, they had to do a stunt double to actually be the guy having sex with her because he was underage, the actual actor.
Oh, wow. There you go.
But, so,
Hey, once in a while, they use the right type of person.
exactly, the death scene, he's probably like, man, come on! The death scene, she gets lured away after that, thinking the other guy that she wants to do it with,
Yeah.
the main guy in the movie, she gets lured away by Angela with a fake note, stabbed in the back, drowned in an outhouse full of poo, pee, and leeches.
Oh, that's got to be the greatest. Well, horror movies aren't necessarily my thing.
Well,
Maybe that was the one that made me go, I'm moving out.
I don't think you've seen it. Yeah,
You know,
because
okay.
the one of the best things about that movie too, other than some of the death scenes and everything, the body count 18. It's a good body count.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
the Happy Camper song.
How do I not know this?
Well, I'm hoping that maybe in post production we can have it.
I will see if we can find that. If we can play a little bit of it, I will. If we can.
If I could sing, I would sing it right now. But
Oh, well, then I didn't know ahead of time, or I would.
and the other final tidbit, which makes this another great 80s horror movie, every single main character in that movie was named after an 80s Hollywood icon or somebody influential. You had Molly from Molly Ringwald, Sean Penn, Allie Sheedy, TC, Tom Cruise, Uncle John for John Hughes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, exactly.
So how did I not know
Everybody.
this? Everybody in that movie?
I don't know how you haven't seen this movie.
I may have and just maybe didn't get as impacted
I
as
mean,
you
it
were.
could be another part of your childhood you blocked out. I don't
That
know.
was the same year that Child's Play came out, so maybe Chucky overshadowed.
You know, it could be because that's the other thing about my list that's messed up. Every movie is either 87 or 88, so I hope you have a different year or something.
I do.
All right.
Mine span the time. So I'm gonna go on then.
Yes.
Move on to the next one. So I like that.
Yeah, I trumped
can't
you on
say-
that one, didn't I?
Yeah. All right. So my next one, I don't know if you would consider it a horror movie per se,
Okay.
but I want just to say I was gonna put because I actually read a website that said The Predator was a horror movie,
Okay.
but I didn't put it on my list.
Well, see, I would put Beetlejuice on my list if I could
But
be
that's
considered
but
a
here
horror.
but I have something about later on, but that's not
Okay.
Beetlejuice. But I'll show you something later.
Okay.
But what I did put on there was The Lost Boys. The Lost Boys has we all know what The Lost Boys is. You got the Coreys.
The Frog Brothers.
You got what was his name? Patrick Luke. Is that his name?
Huh?
Yeah. Is that Kiefer Sutherland? I forget the lead character. I didn't do any research like you. You got like notes.
Kiefer Sutherland was the head vampire.
He's that vampire. And then
Patrick,
Luke.
He was in Speed 2.
Yeah, he was in the worst movie ever made, and but which was really different from this one. But yeah, it's great because they move to the town. They find out there's vampires everywhere. They're killing things. He becomes one. Has to Santa Clara, California. And then that one I think is a horror movie because of its subject matter being vampires.
Yeah, it's a horror movie.
Yeah, but
vampires.
But the time it came out, it felt more like a teen thriller. Like I don't know how to say it.
Well, see,
It wasn't as scary as other horror movies.
When you're talking about 80s horror movies in general, a lot of them are going to go into the comedy horror section.
I know that.
Sleepaway Camp 2.
I've got my list. You don't know what kind of comedy horror is waiting on here.
Again, that was one I was debating on too. That was on my final list at 50. I was narrowing it down, so.
Oh, well, his list of 50. I'm glad. See, I looked at ones and I go, well, what made a mark? I loved that movie. I thought it was great. I thought
I would
the
watch
vampires. See, I don't like super scary movies, so to me, it had enough of the vampires and that stuff with some of the other things, and then kind of balance it out so most people could watch that and probably not be too freaked out, but enjoy it. That was my thing on it.
Yep.
You know what I mean.
Okay.
You're up.
So I'm up. All right. Let's go with. So this is just a straight up horror movie that, just as a kid, scared the crap out of me. Hellraiser.
Pinhead.
Okay, so Hellraiser. It was just creepy. It was scary.
Yeah. That was horror for people who loved horror.
Yes. So it's not your type of movie because you're scared of those.
I've seen it. Seen the
Puzzle
first
Box, Pinhead, one of the just coolest villains in a horror movie.
one. Oh, everybody knows who he is.
Freaky, straight from hell, gonna kill you, put you in my little box. So now you've got Pinhead, you've got the Cenobites. They're coming to take you back to hell. They're gonna rip your flesh apart. They're gonna do all this stuff that hurts so bad and it hurts so good at the same time, at least to them.
To them. Yes, to them.
That's Hellraiser. Just that was scary to me.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say when I was a kid and that one came out, I had seen other horror movies, but I was like, I don't know about this one.
Yeah.
That was the thing, but it doesn't mean I don't know about it, and that's the thing. Like I told you, there's some characters that even if you didn't see every one of those movies,
You see the box of that, you're gonna be scared crapless.
Yeah, you know everything about it. It's like you don't need to see Child's Play to know about Chuck. You don't need to see Hellraiser to know about Pinhead.
Right. Now, the funny thing about that movie too is something I learned. It actually kind of amazes me. Pinhead, again, one of the most iconic horror film villains.
Yeah.
He's, Chucky, Freddy, Jason, all these. Doug Bradley, who played Pinhead, was actually given a choice between the role of Pinhead, who actually wasn't even named Pinhead yet. He was just one of the Cenobites. He wasn't even the highest ranking one, or one of the mattress movers. And he almost chose the mattress mover because he was concerned. It was his first acting role. People wanted to see his face.
No, don't be concerned. That's like
And-
saying turn down Darth Vader, because you're not going to be seen with the most iconic character.
Well, whoever the guy that played Darth Vader, it still doesn't matter. I mean, it
But
was
James Earl Jones.
No, he didn't play him.
I
Hello,
know,
that was not James Earl Jones behind the mask.
I know, but that's who we heard.
So the thing about it, it's just funny to kind of learn things about the horror movies and how this all ended up working out. He was supposed to be just one of the other Cenobites. He wasn't supposed to be the main guy, but a couple of the other ones, Chatterer and Butterball. Mm-hmm. You don't know if you remember those guys
Nope.
or not. Anyways,
I'm listening.
they were supposed to be two of the ones with most of the lines, but
Yeah.
their makeup was weighed them down so much it made it basically impossible for them to talk. They gave the lines to Pinhead.
So because he
and
can talk,
to the female Cenobite.
oh, you gotta love it.
And now, again, they've got 137 sequels. And
The movie magic right there.
yeah,
Made a career out of being the guy who could talk.
movie magic and the originality of Hollywood. So, Hellraiser. That's,
Good one.
That's up there.
That's a classic. It has a classic character. I'm down with this one. I think we're finally going to get into where you may not have. Well, you've seen so much.
I have.
But see, this one I'm about to tell you. This one left a mark on me.
Critters.
No, because it was one of the first to do what it did, and that is An American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
That is one of the people cite that as one of the better comedy horror genre movies, and had like the first actual transformation into a werewolf, like when they show
Yes.
that creepiness. That I watched that because that came out like 1980. You gotta understand, I was like 6 or 7, and I'm watching this. Okay, so that one left an effect on me, and watching him talk to his dead friend in the bathroom, and
Yep.
that whole weird world they were in. It felt like that one was so great. It was so great.
And London is a scary place.
Yeah, and you got the fog of London. You got that dark moodiness of the whole movie. I loved it. That was something that, and to me, it wasn't as scary as much. It was just straight up weird.
Yep.
Like, have you seen that one?
Oh yes.
You have? Well, okay,
I've
man.
seen- and the
I forgot.
American Werewolf in
He's the
Paris.
expert on this panel today. American Werewolf in Paris. Now, that one gets an honorable mention because you see Julie Delpy's
Well,
breastises.
which again, that
Is in there.
a big part in 80s horror movies, even though
But when he goes to the movie theater and is sitting there and his friend like shows up beside him and he
Yep.
looks all gruesome, that was a good. That's good. I mean,
Agreed.
you got to watch that movie because
it was good and gross.
Yeah, it had some of the gross parts in it, but it also let you see something you'd never seen before. You know, that's what I thought about it. I thought it was like, and I didn't know when I watched it back then. I thought that this is what you've seen on TV. You got to understand. But no, that
I thought that's what happened when puberty hit.
yeah, that's Teen Wolf. You got it totally wrong. Is that a horror movie?
Yeah, I mean, if you could argue it to me that it is, then
It's pretty horrifying
You know-
to have a werewolf be the captain of the basketball team and run for class president.
it's pretty horrifying to see Michael J. Fox be captain of the basketball team because he's 4'2".
Yes,
But,
that's a whole other thing.
All right, so American Werewolf in London, good choice. So my next one, Creep Show 2. Again, another sequel.
A
Creep Show
sequel.
2.
Why not the original?
Now this is number 1 because it's my list.
Oh, whatever the hell.
Okay,
man.
number 2 because it's number 2, and it's still my list. Creep Show 2. Now I had to put this on here because, you know, I like some of the anthology movies,
Mm-hmm.
so you get a couple different stories, kind of like Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. Creep Show 2, which the original Creep Show,
Yeah.
you know, Stephen King stories.
Yeah, I like that.
That was another reason I need to put this on here because there were some Stephen King movies I almost wanted to put on, but I didn't. Creep Show 2, though, that I give this. You've got 3 different stories. You've got Old Chief Woodenhead, The
Yeah.
Raft, and The Hitchhiker. And
You know, I did see that, and
Okay.
I would say that one I probably saw even more than the first.
so, yes, me too. I've seen the first one, but Creep Show 2, it's just one of those at my age.
That
and the time I was
Hitchhiker one,
watching
I
that.
think, specifically sticks.
That was, I think, one of the things is that I like about that too. Maybe it happened to be the way the show worked, but the 3 stories got better as they went. It's like
Yeah.
each one was better than the last one. And again, boob scenes.
Yeah.
Those stupid
I mean,
teenagers. got
how
those. Drinking and drugs. You got
Drinking, drugs, and boobs. I think those three things.
Everything was there.
And then gratuitous death scene.
And you've got, thanks for the ride, lady.
Thanks for the ride.
What else can you get out of it? But the other thing about that movie that I loved so much was the cartoon story in between each story.
Oh, yeah.
The kid was getting chased by the bullies. He ordered his Venus flytrap. The stupid guy squished it with his foot.
You remind me of that. I didn't remember that at all.
You remind me of the guy that was squished his flytrap.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome. But then in the end, it's also too awesome because the bullies got eaten.
Well, yeah, it was a nice parable on Don't Be a Bully.
Yes, so it kind of had a combination of everything in a movie, and it actually had cartoons in it, which is cool. And,
Yeah.
I mean, how many times do you get to see people die in a cartoon?
You know, it's funny because we were talking yesterday about that, and I said, another one similar to that was on HBO. They had Tales from the Crypt.
Yes.
And
Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side.
Very similar type of thing, just short stories.
The other thing, too, which I have not seen yet, they are redoing a version of Creepshow.
They are? Well, we'll
it
see.
just started at the end of September. They've had a couple episodes. Greg Nicotero is involved in The Walking Dead. So that's something I want to see. I just haven't seen it yet, but I mean, I'm behind on everything.
Well,
Are you afraid the Dark just premiered last night? I haven't got a chance to watch that yet. Or
what is that?
Friday. The Nickelodeon show.
It's a Nickelodeon. Well, it's
They
on
did a
Nickelodeon.
remake.
I don't do.
Oh, yeah, because it wasn't on HBO, you rich boy.
No, we didn't have Nickelodeon. I'm so old.
Yeah.
All we had was HBO and regular TV. We didn't have ESPN, really. We didn't start watching ESPN until the late 80s. They didn't really have anything on there. It was literally just new sports. So think about that. I mean, not rich, just we had HBO. We lived in town. Give me a break. All right? Okay, cut it. Unless you were going.
Sorry. One other thing, too, and this is just something else that sticks out to me about that movie. The creeper in it was animated. At the very end, he was real. That dude freaked me out.
Oh.
He's throwing out the newspapers to everybody.
You're the creeper.
Back of the truck.
Oh, sorry.
And that scared me. It was a great makeup job. He freaked me out.
Well, it's okay, man. Sometimes there's a character in a movie that just gets you. And I think that one got you. Okay, so we got our next one. And I'm going to look at my little list. And he's going to love this one. Because I think,
I got a big list.
Personally, this one was probably one of the first horror movies I ever saw.
Okay.
Well, it wasn't, but But the thing is the other ones I can't use because they were 70s. You gotta understand. Remember, I'm older than you.
Hey, that's why Halloween didn't make the list.
Halloween.
So
Rosemary's Baby. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So my next one is Friday the 13th.
Jason. All right.
So those things, you did it right there. That right there. When I was a kid, you're watching that movie, and all of a sudden you hear that, and you see the girl walking through the woods, and you're like, oh no. And you're going to see some it was, and then you get the payoff at the end, like to me, and you get boobs.
You get boobs.
You get boobs.
That was one of the 80s movies that really started to capitalize on show some boobies.
Well, I think
Show
that
some
was
boobies,
the horror genre was like,
and they'll come to the movies.
Why? What do we need to do? Because it's a good story, but what do we do to get all those people who don't really want to see the gore? Oh, I know.
Show them the horse.
Nipples. That's it.
Yep.
That's
So, absolutely, Friday the 13th, another one that, for certain reasons, I didn't put on my list.
But the character, everyone knows Jason.
And that's the thing, Jason, which again, Michael Myers is just going to say, since we can't put the original Halloween in, since it was in the 70s, technically, two awesome killers that don't say a damn thing.
Yeah, don't say, that's why Texas Chainsaw Massacre, speaking of people in masks, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that was another one. Like, I was like, there's some that, like, my wife goes, what about The Exorcist? I'm like, that was out in, like, 1973 or 2. I'm like, that's like, way before the 80s.
That's another show.
That's another one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love that movie, the whole going to that camp, and the lore behind the camp. I mean, when you're a kid, I made me not want to go to camp. I'll be honest. It was like, do I really want to go to camp? Because I'll just get stabbed in the bathroom by some dude.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Well, they only get stabbed usually after they have sex, so you would have been fine.
Well, yeah, at least got that. I would have had at least that experience.
Friday the 13th, I think, it is actually one of those that, as far as following the formula, it doesn't get more.
That's formula.
Yeah, I mean, Stupid kids. Like I said earlier, stupid
Stupid
kids,
kids.
high death count, nudity,
Isolated
drugs, sex.
location.
Yep.
It goes into a stupid, inescapable situation. That seems to be another common thing. It's like
inescapable. I can't get out of these mile-long woods.
Yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, like they feel that it's inescapable.
He just keeps walking, but he's going to come up behind out of that tree in front of me when I turn around.
But if I run, what'll happen? I don't know.
I'm going to trip and fall because I don't have any shoes on. Because I was having sex.
My pants are around my ankles. I can't go anywhere. I love that movie, and I think that one is another one. Like I said, I picked a couple here that created iconic characters. I think that's what goes with me.
Yes.
Icons.
Yep.
So
right.
what's yours? What's your awesome?
Again, another sequel. Evil Dead 2.
Now,
Oh.
I was gonna pick Evil Dead,
Yeah.
but I did not.
Okay, well, first of all, you can't.
Why can't
Part 2 is the superior film.
Yeah, but I always go with the thing that creates I always like the one that creates it. Like I've done with the ones I've done. I like the creation, not necessarily the sequel.
And I'm sure people know, like all 14 people that will ever watch this in history.
Hey, my last video, since Thursday, already has like 40 views.
Okay.
So 40 people might watch this.
Or is that like 4 people watching it 10 times each?
I'm not going to say that my computer's on a continuous loop.
Evil Dead 2, for everybody, obviously Ash, iconic character.
Yeah.
Chainsaw hand.
Made a career.
Double barrel shotgun. Shop smart, shop as smart. So
that was a kind of iconic.
Now the thing with it too is Evil Dead 2. What's weird is, or interesting, I guess, it's part remake, part sequel.
Yeah.
It's not, the first 15 minutes or so of the movie, you're like, what the heck's going on? I'm watching the first movie all over again. So basically, what happened with this apparently is they lost, or Sam Raimi, I guess, lost the rights to the first movie.
Wow.
So he couldn't use anything from that movie in the sequel. So he
So
basically
he just
had to
made
do
a
like
new movie.
He made a new movie and kind of did a recap.
Yeah.
Within the first 15 minutes or so of what happened in the first movie, pretty much, and then back to when Ash wakes up and the evil got in him.
Yeah.
Did stuff to him.
He's a bad dude.
So, hand gets possessed. Yeah, you have to cut it off.
Did you watch the series, by the way?
I haven't watched
tried.
the whole
I
thing,
never did.
But
I didn't.
No. I have it all recorded. I just haven't watched it all yet. But it's still...
It's on.
It's timeless. But your hand gets cut. You have to cut off your hand. It beats the crap out of you.
I love that.
You shoot it in the wall and... you get 18,000 gallons of fake blood poured on you. As far as just the gory aspects.
It has it.
The effects for that time, amazing.
But when you go back and watch it,
It's still awesome.
It's still great, but you see the
the
squishiness, like say around the edges. Like it's not. Like you see the things, you're like, oh, and I thought that was great.
Well, yeah, because now
like you look at that now, and you're like, oh.
It's 1980s. Was it 87? So now you can shoot a better movie with your cell phone.
Certainly could.
So,
certainly with this camera.
But that one's up there for me. And actually, they credit Stephen King for helping get that made.
Oh wow!
For soliciting.
So another Stephen King inspired
now
event.
Just trivia with that movie that's pretty cool. In the tool shed, where Ash goes in to finish, whacking his girlfriend, puts her in the vice, chainsaw to the head. Freddy Krueger glove can be seen hung up.
Oh.
Now that's kind of a nod back to Nightmare on Elm Street, because in the original Nightmare on Elm Street, Nancy was watching Evil Dead on her TV.
I did not notice that. Well, then again, you know how long it's been
That's
since I've
because you only
seen
watched
these
HBO.
movies. Well, watching HBO, I saw a lot of things. I saw Body Double when I was like 10. Do you know what Body Double is?
I didn't have HBO. I was waiting until after midnight when you flip it to Channel 3, and it's like you get part of Cinemax coming in.
Or Spice TV. You ever heard of that one?
Yep.
Do you know what Spice TV was?
Sure have.
And you get the VCR and you tweak it. Okay.
Yep. So, Evil Dead 2.
Great movie. I would agree. I thought I was going to pick Evil Dead because I always like how things start. Because I always say that something that starts a great franchise has to be great.
Okay.
Because the franchise came after it.
Yeah. See, you know,
Like, would you pick Terminator or Terminator 2?
T2.
Right, but Terminator was so great that
That's
it
fine.
made that possible.
You can like how things start. I, again, like Spice Channel, so I like how things finish.
Actually, you never got to see him finish on that channel. That was one of those ones that was implied. It never.
Yep. All right.
You saw a bunch of movies.
Your turn.
All right, so we're at the number one. We're going to my number one now.
Number one.
Here's the problem with that. I have a feeling this one you may have.
I have a feeling I may not.
Okay, well then I'll just
Go ahead.
look at my super private list. Actually, I know you love this movie. It's A Nightmare on Elm Street. That was my number one because, to be fair, when that movie came out, it was so popular. It was strange. Like, there were people who watched it over and over again and were consumed by the character Freddy Krueger. And so, to me, while I wasn't consumed, that's why I think it's the greatest, because it still consumed everyone around me.
So, first of all, Freddy Krueger. To me, the best horror villain ever created. You know, the sequels, especially towards the end, turned him into a walking bag of punchlines.
I would agree with
just
that.
made it, you know, which again, that's just them following
The
the
first two
formula.
or three were
You know what?
exceptional.
You go to no, the second one sucked donkey balls. You've got the body, I've got the brains. That line
Yeah.
came from it, and that just seemed like kind of what started everything. Is he could be funny too. Let's put some
Oh.
one-liners in his mouth.
But I was a kid when I saw that, so
See,
maybe
yeah,
that shaded my whole.
Part 2 is like, I mean, I wouldn't say the worst one on the list because part 6 was pretty god awful. So
The fact you watched all 6 or 7, how many are there now?
hey, there's first of all, there's more than that. There's 6, and then there's the new Nightmare,
The Freddy versus
and
Jason.
then Freddy versus Jason, and then the remake that we will not
I
see.
had a Nightmare on Elm Street remake. Yeah,
Yep.
was it? I didn't even look at that because once again I always put more credence in the original. So I'm not going to watch some reboot of something I already thought was great.
Okay.
That's just not me. It had to be really good reboot for me to want to watch it.
Right.
Like that had to be real good. I mean,
See-
and I haven't seen anything like that.
Yeah, I'm good with that choice.
You are? See, and it's a great movie. I mean, the only thing I'll say is when I go back and watch it, though, the effects, like the stairs,
The
where you
stairs.
see every time it gets you when you see the holes in the stairs.
I'm walking in glue.
Yes, and then she puts her foot down, and it's like, ah.
Yeah, that was. But the whole idea of
Johnny
Somebody
Depp being
killing-
eaten. Was he eaten by his bed?
he wasn't eaten by his bed. He was pulled in by Freddy and then just apparently cut up or whatever, and then
Well, yeah,
shot
yeah,
all the
yeah,
blood
yeah.
out. So, one of the greatest horror villains ever, dying in your sleep. I mean, what's more terrifying than that?
Well, yeah.
There's nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can't go anywhere. You're asleep.
And not, I mean, for anybody that's been so tired, all they want to do is go to sleep.
And then have that waiting
But it
for you.
can't. So,
I
all right.
just want to sleep. So let's go to your
All right.
numero uno.
Now, my number one, which I'm glad you picked that, because mine is A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 4.
4?
4!
4?
4!
What the heck is that?
Well, it's a golf term. Other than that,
I know what that is.
All
I'm a
right,
golfer.
so this one, the first one, yes, I would have put that in there, but it is the original, so I understand. But again, this is my list.
His list.
Yeah.
His list is full of like sequels.
I think we pointed that out earlier. It's my list. They're sequels. What are you gonna do? All right, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4, The Dream Master.
All right, I know.
First of all, highest grossing film in the original series, pre Freddy vs. Jason, all that crap. This was, to me, 80s movie. This was more of an 80s horror movie to me.
Okay.
Okay, because Nightmare on Elm Street, obviously, I mean, it's the original, and it was just phenomenal.
I mean,
It was brilliant. Yes.
we screeching the things. you know.
Yes.
I'm telling you that.
The
whole-
tongue coming out of the phone,
Yeah, that stuff is.
all of that. So, watching Johnny Depp die. I mean,
That's. We can't see that now.
so the thing with me for Part 4 is, again, when I'm looking at 80s horror movies, that is an 80s horror movie.
What's it got that makes it 80s to you?
It's got it. At the time, what I thought were hot chicks. As a kid.
Yeah, at the time.
As a kid.
With their big hair and
with the big hair, absolutely. But no, Brooke Thies.
Yeah.
Just the 10 of Us.
Yeah.
The third Love It girl to die in a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Heather Langenkamp was the first one. Obviously, Joanne Willett, who played Connie in Just the 10 of Us, she was on the bus in part 2 in the very beginning of the movie. Who we assume died. Freddie drove him off.
Oh, well, everybody died.
So
Everybody died.
To me, part 4, it had, you know, the 80s music. It was all about 80s to me, because this is when Freddy Krueger, again, he was
back
funny
to
now.
Freddy.
He was funny now. You know, he had a Fat Boys rap video
Oh,
at the end of the movie.
that's so jump the shark, man.
But he took over MTV for a day, which before that, it was like Madonna taking over MTV for a day. Freddie took MTV for a day, okay?
But really?
Huh.
Did I not watch this? Oh my gosh.
I don't know, you're watching HBO.
I did watch a lot of MTV though.
Yeah. So that, it just how sweet fresh meat, the line. It's great. But also too, now here's the thing too, and then this goes to what I talked about, the death scenes.
Yeah.
Naked girl comes out of the poster, she's in the waterbed.
Well, that right there is enough to make
Movie's
it worth
pushing up against the waterbed, Joey dies, and then his mom finds him the next morning inside the waterbed. I don't know how that's a justifiable death, though.
Yeah.
The one thing with some of the deaths in Nightmare on Elm Street, they die in the dream world, and usually it's explained as kind of a normal thing.
Yeah.
But this, how do you get stuck in a waterbed?
I don't know.
And the water's still in it.
Because in the dream, weird things happen, but you're just dead once.
But I mean, at that point in the movie, that's where you're like, you got to call the cops. And I mean, if Twitter had been out then, how did this happen? Let's research this.
Twitter. Well, if you were to take that and put it into context with all these.
So, yeah.
Of course, Friday the 13th, they couldn't have had Twitter. They're out in the middle of nowhere. But you said a mile and
You know, you forgot to mention earlier, too, Friday the 13th, also female killer. So we got that on your list.
Well, yeah. Well, no, Jason's not a female.
His mom was a killer. In the
Yeah,
first one.
she was. Yes,
So
yes.
they're using that to say.
Old woman killer.
So again, it's just I understand it's part 4 at that point, but it was just my favorite.
Was it just the it was how it evolved into the funny guy, but he also was still doing the funny
It wasn't
fun
because
kills?
the funny, that's kind of what ruined Nightmare on Elm Street. Too many jokes. It's how can you take a killer seriously when they're just making jokes all the time? I mean,
Now, I will say he had one of the best theme songs done by a band that I wish would have been around longer. Fishbone, Freddy's Dead. You know that song? Freddy's Dead.
Yes.
Doo-doo-doo-doo. Yeah.
that's part 6, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I like the song. I like
mean,
Fishbone.
you had Dawkins singing Dream Warriors way before that, so.
Oh, well, yeah, but I like Fishbone. I saw them live.
Well,
Yeah. I didn't see Dawkins live. Because, well, I was like, 12 or something when they were popular.
if you want to go more music trivia, the band Coil,
Yeah.
they actually originally were hired to do the soundtrack to Hellraiser.
Wow.
And there's a rare album they released with the music on it. They apparently decided, no, we don't want to pay them royalties for it, so we're going to have somebody else do it.
Well, I guess that would make you not do anything. So we got our list.
We got our list.
So we're going to take a break, let you check something out, and then we're going to come back and let you know what our ultimate list is. All right, and we're back. Yes, with a kiss. So we went back and we picked the ones we insist. I picked a good one. He picked,
The other 4?
Did not pick the other 4. As you will see by the list that will appear on the screen somewhere, that it was not just all his.
Right, don't feel bad, though. Again, I've seen more.
He loves all horror
I've
movies,
seen
so
more-
technically these are all his.
I've seen more 80s crap than you have.
Well, I wouldn't say that. That's not 80s crap horror. I was a child of the 80s. I lived it.
So did I.
I was born in 74. I literally, when my conscious life was the 80s. I didn't start. Remember, well, Star Wars in '78 is when I really started becoming a fan of things, and so, just saying, I've lived it. I know my '80s.
Okay.
What? We're gonna go there someday. We'll go there. Okay, so yeah, I owned a
80s
G.I.
trivia?
Joe helicopter.
80s trivia?
G.I. Joe helicopter. With all the G.I. Joe figures. I had it. He didn't. Okay, so
I had GoBots.
well, I had Transformers because you Poe. Remember?
I had both.
You Poe ass bitch.
I
You had GoBots.
I had both, but I just want to bring up GoBots. Voltron.
I was gonna say I had Voltron, the metal one, not the plastic crap one that you get. I asked for that for Christmas and
Castle
I got that.
Grayskull.
I
Mother
didn't-
ever.
I didn't
Come
want
on.
the Castle Grayskull.
What?
He-Man was a little too homoerotic. I even think about it. I think I knew about that then even.
A lot of heroes wore loincloths.
Yeah, but he had those
Even though his was made
glistening,
like,
rippling
his
muscles.
was made like out of wool or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was-
Hey, let's finish
Let's
this.
move on with this. So, number 5, and this was his insistent. Tell them what it is.
Sleepaway Camp 2, Unhappy Campers.
Unhappy Campers. That's number 5. It's at the bottom of the list. I would say because the next 4, the popularity of them is just through the roof comparatively.
Yeah.
So he picked that one because I agree that it has a little bit of Easter egg element to it. There's a lot of
it
little
has a
Easter
lot.
eggs.
It has
Yeah.
a lot.
So and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that.
Hot chick, dunked in leeches.
Yeah. Boobs.
Nice.
All right. So as long as it has that, it can be on the list.
Okay.
So it made the list, as we say. Number 4 that made the list is, this is another one of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Say it. Do you remember it?
You got the list in front of you.
Well, I didn't put it in order.
Hellraiser.
Okay. I didn't put it. I got it. I got the names,
Oh,
but not in
so
order.
you don't remember the order?
Well, I did, but I wanted you to say your movie.
Hellraiser.
Because, once again, iconic
Right.
character. Just that one.
Iconic and moronic, how it actually played out.
Yeah.
As we talked about, Pinhead wasn't even supposed to be the main guy.
So, yeah, there's another Easter egg thing that you knew about a movie. I guess that, once again, he's a super fan. So,
That knows how to use the
when we do rom-coms, I will own him. That's what'll happen. What, you a rom-com guy? Are you a rom-com guy?
Keep on the list.
Okay. And then number 3 is another one of his.
Another sequel.
He got 3 on here?
Yeah.
Okay, but I'll be fair. I was going to pick the first one of this. So Evil Dead 2.
Yep.
Another one. Can you
Was
elaborate?
gonna. I kind of Jedi mind tricked the crap out of you on this list.
Well, to be fair, I
Evil
was going
Dead
to pick
2.
Evil Dead. So this is kind of adjacent to what I would have picked.
Well,
I prefer the originals, but
Well, see, you can make that argument all you want, but it wasn't on your original top 5, so you weren't gonna pick it. It was never
you don't
there
know what was on.
to pick.
I was going to, remember, I told you I was going to pick Predator. I wish I had and insisted it was on this list now. I'd like to ask you where that would be on this list.
4,136.
I was just say.
All right.
Okay, so now we're going to get into, well, these are mine. So mine are the best ones. So, hey,
I'd like to think number 1 is ours, but
because of your love of it. But, and it was so close to making your list. But I wouldn't know that. So close, but yet so far away. So number 2 is Friday the 13th. Another iconic character. You got Jason. You got the lake, which I think was a character in that movie in itself, with the boat and the
boobs
boobs, stupid teenagers in the woods.
and Corey Feldman.
Yeah, well, there's that. That's strange.
So, you
I
know
picked
what?
2 movies with
You
Corey
did-
Feldman.
I was gonna say you didn't get Lost Boys on there, but you still got your Feldman.
I got my Feldman in. Yes, so number 2, that was Friday the 13th. So that leaves only one thing that can be number 1, and always, in my opinion, when it comes to the 80s horror movies.
Yep.
And that is, you can say since it's your favorite.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
It is the best. It has the best character. I feel that it started a new interest at the time. Like, people were just going crazy over that.
Yeah, there's so much you can say, but you don't need to say anything about it. It was just great. And
Well-
burned up face,
Burned up face. Well,
Christmas sweater.
I think it's the reason I saw Child's Play. I think that type of thing. I think it spawned and made people think that differently on how to make a
It's
movie.
the reason I wanted to kill people. And never mind.
And on that note,
Now, hey, let's. This is kind of weird, but what did I want? Nightmare on Elm Street.
4?
Yeah, how many razors were on his glove?
4?
You see the irony?
No.
I don't need-
Okay. Okay. Well, anyways, that was Made the List. So you saw what made the list for us. So you can let us know in your comments
It's not gonna be good.
what would have made the list for you. But remember, this is 80s, so don't come at me with like it from like 2 years ago.
I was gonna, not even that. People, I understand anybody that sees this they're gonna have their own opinions. They're gonna rail on our choices. But keep in mind, this is the 80s. Nobody had taste.
No, they didn't. And then don't forget, you need to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification for always, and then you can see the next thing
Can
we
you
do.
poke? Did they poke on there?
What do you mean?
No, that's Facebook.
That's he doesn't know his tube.
I'm sorry.
I mean YouTube.
It's Facebook and it's the Spice Channel. Poke us.
He wants that. You're too much in the spice, so we're gonna let you go.